Hello and welcome to episode 5 of my Everquest 2 tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on us, or me I should say, showing you two different quest lines. One is a Tradeskill quest line and the second is an epic gathering quest line. Also, we will take a look at a new area, and if time permits, we will take a look at also another area for hunting and adventuring, and just generally taking a look around the beautiful Everquest 2. But so here we are where we left off in the last episode. We went through doing the tutorials for Tradeskill, and once you've finished the tutorials, it will take you to about level 11 or 12. Once you get to level 10, the first thing to do is to buy your new spells from this person here, the crafting trainer. Not only did they enable you to get to level 10, but remember to frequently check back and upgrade your spell books. You can see here that I've purchased the Artisan 9, Outfitter 10. Depending on what choice of trade skill will be depending on what books you're buying. Mine are Outfitters because I am eventually, when I get to level 20, I will then be able to choose to become a tailor. At the moment it's split between 3 different trade skills as an outfitter. One is a tailor, one is an armourer, and one is a weaponsmith, I believe. Anyway, getting back to this, so I've purchased and read these books, but what I haven't learnt yet is this one. Now what you can do, I'm not sure if I've shown this already, so I'll just quickly show it. If you're not sure if you want to learn a spell book, just right click, left click examine, and it will show you a list of the items it will give you in that if you learn that new spell book. So there we go, that's how you check. I'm going to purchase that because obviously as you level up, and then just double left click, and I've learned all the new spells. So as you level up, remember to upgrade your spell book with the crafting trainer. Okay, the next thing I wanted to mention is when you get to this crafting area, and I should have mentioned it in the last episode, the first thing you should do is set your recall point. If you're a crafter like myself, you don't want to wander off and then have to keep walking back. By setting your recall point, you can then use the teleport here, call to home skill, to teleport back. Notice it's just said your spirit is bound to this location, so now when I use this call to home, it will take me back to here, the crafting area, for as long as that I'm here. And as you can trade skill here with the quest line that I'm about to show you to level 20, it's a good idea to do that. Okay, so that's binding yourself. The next thing I wanted to show you is, before you think about moving off to a different location, there's a few things you want to do. Number 1, you should do yourself the best food. Now, the best food in my opinion, best food and drink I should say, the best food and drink in my opinion is the white tea. Notice it gives us an increase of out of combat power regeneration of 15, but more importantly it lasts for over 5.5 hours. The same for the food. The food will give us 10 out of combat health regeneration, and it also lasts for over 5.5 hours. So the Jum pie and the white tea are my first favourite food and drinks to make. They are tier 1 to 9, remember, and I believe you get to make these at about tier 9 once you get to level 9 out of that first tier. Remember, as you progress with your levels, as well as trade skill and adventure, you start off in a tier 1 to 9 zone. Pilgrim's Landing was tier 1 to 9 resources. That's what we collected. The next, as you gain levels though, once we get to level, you get to level 10 plus, you'll then enter the next tier, which is 10 to 19. So as you gain levels and go to higher level zones, the items that you can forage will get to that higher tier. So it starts 1 to 9, then goes 10 to 19, then 20 to 29, 30 to 39, etc, etc, all the way up to 100. So before you leave the crafting area, number 1, make yourself decent food and drink. That will last you. The second thing to do that I recommend would be to go to the woodworking table and to make yourself 100 spirit of the beetle, spirit totems of the beetles, which you will find in this list. There it is, spirit totem of the beetle. It's a level 8, so everyone will be able to make these, but what they do is they will give you out of combat regeneration, a further 12 boost to it. So make yourself 100 of these before you leave the crafting area. If you're more into combat and fighting, then make yourself 100 spirit totem of the frogs, because that will give you, and if we examine it, that will give you an additional 8 regeneration on top of your food regeneration. So definitely worth making yourself 100 of them as well if you like combat, which we will be getting into and doing a little questing. Okay, so that's food and drink and a beetle. The last thing that I want to mention, no doubt there's many other things, like for example, something that I did was upgraded all of my bags from the little 4-slot bags to the 8-slot rawhide backpacks, because obviously the more space to carry stuff, the more we can use to craft with and hold quest items. So that's why I've done my bags. But the other thing I wanted to mention upgrading is your spells. Now I'm a conjurer, so I think the workbench that I need, now don't quote me on this because it's been a while and I've forgotten, and must do my spells. I've not done them yet. Yep, it is the Engraving Desk. It's the Engraving Desk for the casters, like the magician, the wizard, the conjurer, the warlock. If you are a, let's just check, if you're a warrior or that type of class, then it's the chemistry table you will find, and if you're of the rogue classes, then it will be the workbench. So there we are. I've got to come back here, and what I'm talking about upgrading is these down here, your spells or your skills if you're a melee. Now for example, they all start, as you can see, as apprentice, but we can upgrade them to journeyman, and if we do the rare versions we can upgrade them to off the top of my head I can't think what it is. Perhaps someone would be kind enough to leave a comment. So there you are, you can upgrade all of your spells. So, okay, so that's a few of the things to do before you go off wandering into the world, adventuring. And remember to do the daily tasks. They are always worth doing because they will get you to, I've done one set of the daily tasks, made myself some bags, food and drink and the beetles, and got myself to level 14. So you'll do the same. Also though, I've done a couple of the local trade skill quests, which is what I want to show you next. So for those of you in the trade skilling who want to level up your trade skilling, we can't do trade skill rush orders or work orders yet to advance our trade skilling, but what we can do is the local trade skill quest. So now I'm going to take you to where you start the local trade skill quest. Okay, so we're going to go down here out of the crafting area into Hallis City proper. Let's speed up, boost my running to sprint, which you'll notice is this with the feet down there. Okay, now we're going to walk down towards the right hand side down here. You'll know if you're going the right way because you'll see that big temple with the moat around it, which is there. That's a temple, which you will get an update if, well, let's show you. If we go over here to this temple, see, you've got Khan of the Huntress, which I call it a temple, which I guess it is. So there we go. Anyway, right, so carrying on along this path, you will get to over here and you will see a green feather in this building, and it's this person here, Envoy Tammy, will have a green feather above their head. That is the trade skill quests to continue getting you to 20. So the first quest that she gives you is to simply go back to the trade skill area and hand a message in. Once you've done the first quest, the next quest she'll give you is to gather local vegetables, okay, which is what I've done. And then the third quest she gives you, which is the one that I'm on, so let's bring up my quest window. I can't remember the short key, but there is one. Okay, so let's go to quests. Okay, so the third quest that she gives you is this one. So as you can see, there are people now around Hallis, and I'm going to do this quest with you to show you. So where they've got the red book, remember that means it's a turn-in for the quest. So we click on them, we don't want to buy anything, and just go through the quest text. And there we are, that's the first one done. Okay, let's carry on. The next one you can see in the mini-map at the top right is just down here. They're not far, won't take long, so we'll quickly go through this because I want to show you the feather that appears above the head of the quest giver, so you know what to look for. Okay, so we'll do this next turn in. There we go. 2 more to do. So if we wander over here, oops, there's one over there. And there's the second one. So you can see the quests don't take long at all, but some of them are quite fun to do, depending on what quests you're doing. But I strongly encourage it because the quests are not only a lot of fun, you'll also get a lot of XP. And for those of you that want to get to the higher tier items in crafting, but you don't want to sit grinding making items, which you don't have to do in EQ because you can do the trade skill, the rush orders and work orders. That's a good way of getting your trade skill levels up. But also you can do these quests and they give you good rewards. Okay, so let's finish the quest. Okay, now we go back to the quest giver. Now, doing these trade skill quests give you 3 main benefits. Number 1, you will get trade skill experience. Number 2, you will get faction experience. Let's show you. So if we go to factions, this is the city factions, but by doing this trade skill quest under Shattered Lands, we're doing Ravens of the North. So every time we hand in, you're going to see that we're going to get some faction. The higher the faction with this Ravens of the North, cheaper items. We can buy items at a cheaper cost, plus we will have the ability to buy items from them, because if we did not have faction, we wouldn't be able to buy from them. So there we are. So we get experience, we get faction, and the third thing that we get is a rare item, a rare trade skill item, as you're going to see. Okay, so let's hand in.
Hello.
there we are. So we got experience, we got faction, and now we get to choose one of these items. Depending on what you want to specialise in with trade skilling is obviously what you want to choose for a reward. But bear in mind, just make a load of alts and specialise them in each of the different skills. That way you can then... I wish I could remember actually which one it was for the spells, because I need to do my spells. It might be the root. Let's try that. So I'll just accept. There we go. There's the green glow around the feather. So you'll know it's a trade skill quest when you're in one of the towns, because it'll have a green glow. Okay, so to get a further quest you just carry on the talking to them and they will give you a new quest. Notice the quest is yellow. That means we are getting optimum experience for doing these quests. We're getting very good experience, because with the quests they can turn, as you level up, the lower level quests will become obsolete, as in they will become grey, so you don't get you'll get a bit of experience but hardly any at all. Then they turn green, then they turn white, and then on to yellow. So if you can, doing yellow and white quests is the best way to go. Anyway, I shall accept this quest, and you'll see now I should make some new spinning wheels. And if we look in my pocket, she's given me first of all the recipe, so I need to learn that, and also the materials I should have. It will be the tier 2 materials, so it will be materials from 10 to 19. Okay, well that's the trade skill quest. Now you know where to get it, you know how to do some of it. That will get you nicely, hopefully, to where you can start doing rush orders and work orders, if not 20, and then I will get myself to that point so I can show you the next zone for trade skilling. For now though, I want to show you something else. If we go to my unread mail, you will notice you've got a mail in there from Leon Orgren, a gathering obsession. This is also something you definitely want to do. This is an epic quest line. In other words, it's going to give you new quests all the way up to about level 100, I believe, or maybe 90 or 80, I can't be sure. I have never done it all the way, but I'm hoping in this series to do it all the way to the top. The first quest that they give you is to gather resources from a starting zone. So to gather level 1 to 9 resources. So if I go into the quest journal, let's show you the quest that you get. Oh, I must remember what the short key is. Anyway, here it is. So it's this one here. If I enable it, you can see, if I bring it up, that they wanted me to gather resources from the starter zone. So 1 to 9 resources, and they were basically all the items that I showed you at the beginning. So roots, elm and pelts. Okay, let's show you where you go to get this quest, and then we can start to explore the world of Everquest 2 a little. It is a big vast world, and you're going to see there are some beautiful places that you can visit and roam. Although do be careful where you go, because obviously if you go to too high zones you're going to get killed really quickly. Now if I can, I will show you getting killed, as Robert asked a very good question in one of the previous episodes about what happens with death. I was hoping to just show you it, and so I will. Eventually I'm going to die, that's a fact. I always die in all the games I play. I'm not an expert in any of the games I play. The purpose of all of my videos that I do is just to share what little knowledge I do have of each of the particular games I enjoy playing. Although I do intend to do some series on games that I'm new to, just to see how they go, because someone did leave a comment, and I wish I could remember their name, asking me to do just that. So I will try it. If I tend to be fumbling too much, then I'll just do a one-off, but otherwise I will do review some games which I've never played before. Right, okay, so to get to this quest where he's asked us, if we look at the message again, he says this quo to come and visit him on the Isle of Mara, so that's where we're going to get it. So we come down here to this voyage wheel, double left click, and it opens up a map of the world. Now, excuse me, sorry. Now, don't believe for one moment that this is all the locations you can go to. It is not. This is just one of the devices you can use to travel around. There are other things. There is a fairy ring at where is it? What am I looking for? In the Enchanted Lands. Notice when you hover over an area, it tells you the level of the zone. Like, we're currently here, and because we're here it won't tell us the level, but if I hover over Tumultuous Deep, which is where we're going to go, you can see it's level 1 to 20. Up here at the Enchanted Lands is a fairy ring, another means to travel, but do be careful, look at the level, 30 to 40. Where we want to go though is Isle of Mara. Now don't be worried that it says level 55 to 65, there's no monsters in the area we're travelling. So we double left click, and then it's going to take us to the Isle of Mara and the village of Shin. Welcome to the village of Shin. Now, I have been here previously. I did do a video previous to this yesterday, but the video, the game crashed me out and it caused a real mess, so I ended up having to delete the video, and it did it right at the end of the video. So anyway, I'm having to record again. So you come off of the pier, come across the river here. Now you don't see the purple feather because I've obviously got the quest already. So what I'm going to do is hand in that first quest to show you him giving us the second quest. So you come across the river and up the hill, and you'll see the quest givers just here in the water, and it's Quo. So let's hand in. Check out how much money you get. These are so worth doing, but you get some very nice items as you do the quests. Okay, now this is an epic quest line, so he will give you generally a new quest for every 10 levels that you gain. So because I'm level 14, I can now do the second quest that he's going to give, because it's going to be gathering resources of the second tier, so between 10 and 19. So let's accept and grab all that lovely money that he's giving me. So it's well worth doing them. Notice that for this quest, the gathering quest, it's a purple light over the feather, whereas the Tradeskill quest was green, this is purple. So I'm going to go through the quest text now to him to get the next one. And here we are. Notice again, loads more gold. And this is part 2. Now in this one, he's telling us he wants us to harvest again. And we'll see where we've got to do it. Okay, there isn't no particular area, just a tier 2 area. So we can go to the Common Lands or Antonica, or some of the other areas. Okay, so that's getting the Gathering Obsession quest line, which is for your gathering. Definitely worth doing. Now at this point, you could teleport back to the Tradeskill area in Frostfang Sea, but we're going to go now to a different starter area just to show you, because I just want to also explore the world whilst doing this series, and maybe we can do a quest, one quest, and then we can go to a different area. It's all down to the timer and how long we've got. When the timer goes, I'll finish the episode. Also, it's showing you how to get around the world of Everquest, which can be, for new people, very difficult to know. as in you won't know where the fairy ring is, or this this Wayfarer's Bell, I think it's called. Anyway, so let's click that. Okay, so the areas to do this second part of the Gathering Obsession are, we could go back to Frostfang Sea. I would recommend there to do this because it's safe. There's no monsters apart from having to do the fishing. We can check that out at a later time. For now though, let's do, before we go to Tumultuous Deep, okay, I want to take us to Greater Fadark, which is the elf location. Notice level 1 to 20, so it's another starting area. So double left click. Now this is one of the most prettiest zones you're going to see. Well, in fact, no, there are loads of prettier zones, but this zone, I do love the look of it. It's beautiful. It's, for those of you who play Everquest 1, it's a new version of the tree village of Calatin. Right, okay, so why have I decided to come here? Well, I'm a conjurer, as you know, and I've got this little rock monster Garm. He's a Nervan avatar. That's what I get as a pet, as a conjurer. But everyone, regardless of what class you play, you can get a companion, and they're called Mercenaries. Now, my favourite mercenary to get is the Ranger, because they not only do they have, if you upgrade their spells, and excuse me, sorry, my voice is going where I'm talking so much. Not only can you upgrade their skills and abilities, they can also heal you. So as well as upgrading their spells and abilities so they can do an amazing amount of damage on the monsters you fight, they can also heal you as well. So there's that reason as well I like them. Now, to find them, okay, you come off the Wayfarer's Bell, walk across here to here, double click, you'll see travel within Calatin, and you'll see the different areas. The Ranger is in Joycelin's pub, so we double left click there. So this is for travelling within this little zone of the tree village. Okay, so here we are. Now to go into the inn, this is the inn, if I remember correctly. Okay, we're going to go in there. And down here to the left, there you are. There are the two mercenaries. Now, I can't tell you enough how worthwhile having a mercenary is. I'm not going to try and tell you what mercenary to get. For all the different classes that you get in Everquest 2, I believe you have a mercenary. So you've got the Ranger mercenary, and you've got one of the caster mercenaries. I would say to you, roam around to the start cities and have a look at the different mercenaries. There were two in Frostfang Sea. I believe one's a Guardian and another one. So just roam around and choose your own preference. For me, I like the Tracker, which is of course the Ranger Merc. So left click and you can talk to them, and they'll tell you a bit about themselves, but eventually you get to asking them. Eventually they'll show you the skills. Now trust me, with the Ranger, they get some awesome, check out the damage there, and it just gets better and better with the Ranger. The one thing you must remember to do though is upgrade their abilities. So I'm going to hire them. Look at how cheap it is. Remember, when you do your daily objectives, for every 5 points you get for every token, 5 tokens you get through doing these daily objectives, you can earn 500 platinum through going to the store, loyalty and general, and remember, right at the bottom, a small bag of platinum, and it will give you 500 platinum coins for 5 tokens. Not only will that pay for your mercenary for the next year or two of playing, and even longer, but you can also think about, for the first time, if you're doing this, getting yourself a really big guild house, because it won't bother you anymore, the cost, because you'll be earning so much. So anyway, let's hire them. Right, so now not only have I got my pet, my little rock monster as Robert called him, but I've also now got my own personal bodyguard, or mercenary, call them what you will. Over here you've got, for your pet, you've got the different choices of commands of what you can tell them to do. Okay, and over here for your mercenary, you can also tell them what to do. The best thing to do is keep them set to follow. Oh dear, goodness me. Wow, time's gone so quickly. You can also get them to protect you and also assist you. So just leave them like that. Now, when I go adventuring, which I wanted to do, but we'll have to leave for the next episode as the time's gone. Now I've got not only my pet, also a bodyguard. So if you're a melee person, a melee class, I would recommend going for a healer. If you're a caster class, I would recommend either going for a dual melee healer or a pure melee. The choice is yours. Have fun experimenting. What can I say? EQ2 is a beautiful, beautiful game, and we're making slow but sure progress. So I'm now going to go and finish the Gathering Obsession quest, which is gathering all of these. I'm also going to go and complete the Tradeskill quest, and then I'm going to get myself up to a crafting level of 20. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on our adventures in EQ2. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.